welcome back to Our Frame Games. My name is Chris, and we are back playing Tokyo Dark. And, well, while I have everybody here, my bad. I may or may not have accidentally messed up something with the audio in the past 3 videos. I was able to fix one really well, and then I couldn't really do too much with the other 2. Still, we continue on. So after we punch the guard, let's go back to Asakusa. That's probably not how you say it. And then let's go talk to that, which is Mai's brother. Hey, I brought your sister. We're fine. Mai, what are you doing here? Did she make you come? No, it's not like that, Takashi. It was my idea. I wanted her to come talk to you, but you sent her away. This woman almost got you killed. You expect me to cooperate with her? Surely, if you need to talk to me, you can come yourself. My sister doesn't need to be involved. No. If I came alone, you'd just evade all my questions like you always do. Besides, there's something I need you to see. Wait, see? What are you talking about? I don't like that mask. Where did you get that? Put it away! So you do know what it is. I know you were hiding something from me. That's not true. I wasn't hiding it. Kind of was hiding it. It's not something you ever needed to know about. Besides, why is she carrying it around in the first place? Oh, wait, don't change the subject. This isn't about Itō. It's totally about me. Mai, I understand you're upset with me, but we should talk about this another time. Furthermore, that mask has nothing to do with you. Well, see, now that's where you're wrong. Back in April, when Mai was held at knife point by another girl, it was this mask she was after. A mask your family is connected to. Looking for it? Ellipses. I suppose I've been a fool to think I could keep the truth of our family's past away from you. The past? Does this have anything to do with Mom and Dad? This has everything to do with Mom and Dad. Yes, and so much more. I first saw that mask when I was a child, before you were born. The truth is, it belonged to a cult called the Kai, which our parents were members. A cult. You're kidding, right? So how'd your parents get mixed up in that? You know what? There's a lot of ways you can get mixed up in a cult. Just whatever. I know how it sounds. I find it hard to believe myself. They were a group led by a guru named Takimasa, who promised a simpler life away from the hypocrisy and falseness of the city life. Our parents both had master's degree, and my mother was on her way to earning her PhD. They chose to give up their lives and careers to follow some mystic and live in a compound instead. The Kai were one of many such groups back then. Yes, there actually were I'm gonna take a side trip just for a second. Now, I remember reading somewhere that this is maybe a tangent, but just bear with me for like 5 seconds. There is actually a cult called the Happy Cult or something, or the Blue Cult maybe. If you've ever played Earthbound, the cult within that game was actually based on a cult in real life that was meant to be happy, meant to do a whole bunch of good things. And, well, the cult in real life was not quite as happy. There was a lot of things that were really destructive. Ultimately, this tangent leads to nothing except for the fact that cults are weird. If you do ever delve into the information of cults, just be careful. It is a long rabbit hole, and, well, just be careful. I was a child and I didn't understand, but think about how our parents were deceived and what they put me and Mai through, it is unforgivable. The mask was on the compound, but for what purpose or what they believed it could do, I do not know. Do you think there are any members of the Common Kai left who'd know? No, you see, there are no surviving members. They died, all of them, including our parents. I'm sorry, I don't remember much about it. One night, Grandma came into the room where we were sleeping, saying we had to go. The compound was in the woods, so it was dark, and I could barely see, but she kept charging forward with Mai in her arms and me dragging behind. When we were back in Tokyo several days later, Grandma told me that our parents were dead. She didn't seem sad, it was as if she expected it. The government censored much of what happened, and I was never able to learn how they had died. Me and Grandma didn't speak of it, ignoring it as if my childhood and everything that had happened in those woods were all just a bad dream. If it weren't for her, we'd probably be dead with our parents, but ignoring it couldn't erase the anger I felt towards them. I wonder if they even cared of what might have happened to us. As a high schooler, I spent my time trying to find out more about the Common Kai than I did studying. I thought that if I could understand why my parents were so willingly gave up their lives and abandoned us, I'd stop feeling so betrayed. But I was wrong. Nothing I found gave me peace.
Mom and Dad died as part of some cult? I don't believe it.
It's true. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I guess that in hiding it from you, I was able to hide it away from my feelings as well. Sorry, it has been a long night for me. I think for Grandma, it was too painful to talk about. I believe she took possession of the shrine in order to live a simpler life. We had to keep it secret. There's no way we could live a normal life with the stigma of the Common Kai attached to us. I suppose keeping that secret hurt us both dearly. For me, pursuing Kendo gave me some measure of control over my life. But Grandma, who had made a choice to leave only her daughter behind, she always seemed to carry that guilt of it with her. She started going out at night, babbling about how she was looking for Mom. When she'd come home, she would have a rotten stink on her clothes. I was too scared to confront her, so I tipped off the police. They found her wandering the sewers, holding nothing but the mask. The same one from the cult compound all those years before, and one you now hold. I was shocked when they gave it to me. I hadn't seen it for so long, and all the unpleasant memories from my past came flooding back. That was when I decided to leave Kamakura. It was the only way I could move on with my life. Yeah, no, hold up. That doesn't account for how the mask ended up with your grandmother in the first place. I don't know how she got it. It seemingly appeared out of thin air, or maybe somebody gave it to her. She never said. I left the mask with her. It always made me uneasy. It had a strange aura about it.
Wait. Grandma was looking for Mom? In the sewers? I don't believe any of this.
You were in the dorms at your school at the time. Grandma's strange behavior was part of why I insisted on you going to those private schools away from the Kamakura. I couldn't drag you into the madness of our past. We parted ways without ever speaking of it, and she was much better by the time you had returned to Kamakura. Detective, what exactly is it that you're looking for? Surely our family's history isn't of any use to you.
Well, kind of.
I assume you've heard about what had happened to my partner. Everybody seems to know that I have a history. This mask was there, again, when he had died. It's more than an ornament. I need to know where it came from.
If that's true, then I want to help. Your partner, he seemed like a nice person. He didn't pull a gun at me or have a knife to my hand, or a knife to my neck, so I mean, I guess he was nice.
No, not gonna happen. Look, you're helping plenty, but I need to do this on my own. Itō is right. I apologize for not telling you about this sooner, but you can't be involved in something so dangerous. I already thought I'd lost you the day at the shrine. I wouldn't forgive myself if something had happened to you now.
Ellipses. Okay. Thank you for finally telling me the truth, Takashi. I'll head back for now. I hope you remember that I'm your sister. I may not remember the same things you do, but we're still family. I'll see you guys later.
Thanks for your help, Mai. And Mai disappears, making her way all the way back to Kamakura by herself, which is totally safe, I guess? I don't know. You're right, Mai. I'll come visit you soon. It looks like she's gone. I can tell because she's out of the frame. Mai's not here, and there's no need to be coy. No doubt, taking possession of that mask has taken its toll on you. Even in the brief time I was in contact with it, I felt an immense darkness behind it. I had such strange dreams and saw things I would have never dreamed of in my own. There was always an unusual air about it, and that I couldn't quite stand around. Maybe lying to Mai again makes me a hypocrite. All I know is that I don't want her getting hurt. But like you said, I don't believe that mask is simply wood and paint. Though I doubt anyone else would believe us. No one ever did. Except for one man. On this street, there's an old tea shop. Perhaps you saw it on your way in. An old historian named Yasuhisa. Named that guy. Is there occasionally. He was the only one who ever acknowledged what I said about the mask as truth. If you're looking for information on the mask, he may be the best person to ask. I never pursued the topic with him, but I speak with him occasionally on other topics. His mind is a vault of valuable information. Alright, sure. Hopefully he can shed some light on what exactly this is. I hope so, but Detective, be careful. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go get some tea first. I'm gonna get the drink. I've actually had a really long night. And for those who don't know, I actually do a lot of my recordings on the really early mornings. As a peek behind the curtain, it is currently 7 a.m. And I just got done with a 10-hour shift, 11-hour shift. I'm gonna buy an octopus ball. Oh, it's just another one of those things that it's just like, they're really good food. Okay, you know what? It's good. I was able to, just with food, my professionalism dropped by 1 point. Who knew? But my sanity and my neuroses dropped, so I'm now stable when it comes to sanity, and my neuroses are, well, I'm still stressed. But I would buy some more. So now that I know there's a handful of more places, more items that can decrease my neuroses and my stress level, that's actually really good. So I don't have to keep taking the pills, because the moment I can stop taking those pills, the better. Welcome. Come in. Do sit down. No need to be so formal and stand there like a statue. How can I help you? Are you that guy? Takashi told me to come speak with you. Oh, and how is Mr. Kawena? Still prickly as ever, I suppose. I've always found him to be wise beyond his years, though perhaps not by choice. I digress. My apologies. It is the quirks that come with old age, you know. How does Mr. Kawena think I can help you with? So I'm looking for a few things related to the Kamen Kai, the group his family got mixed up in. Ah, the more difficult answer than you might expect. You see, there are two groups that share the same name. The first, as you know, is the religious group formed by the guru Tokimasa, The second is an ancient order, over 1,000 years old. What's more, what is that you're holding? It's a pretty mask. I was told it's related to the common Kai, or the newer one, that you could tell me about. Aha! That explains many things, child. The far-off look in your eyes, for one. Hold on, pause. Okay. This is so weird. I've noticed this from time to time on certain characters, most notably the Collector. But look at my character, alright? Fairly fleshed out, no colors, all colors are perfect, like purple, yellow, pink, whatever. But look at this guy. He's staticky. When we've talked to Mai, when we've talked to Kawana, when we've talked to anybody else, they were all like myself. However, certain people have had this static to them, and it's always people who know about the mask. Might even be a bit people who know too much about the mask. Still, I digress on that, but it is still something that I'm going to keep an eye on. I imagine you have many questions. Masks are an interesting thing, are they not? They are meant to be a disguise, and yet a mask cannot lie or contort itself to hide the truth. In that sense, it is the mask that is more truthful than the human face we hide underneath them. I wonder how you came into possession of an object with such dark history. Well, the long story. First it was given to me, and then I shot somebody. Yes, I think it might be related to a missing person, but I don't know anything about it beyond that. Ah, but that itself is the essence of history. Layers upon layers of personal connections that are continuously peeled back to their roots. Relics like the one you hold often take unusual routes to where they end up. Routes. Unusual routes. Relic. If it's just from the comic I cult from the 90s, then I'd hardly call it a relic. I mean, not that old. Misguided and deceptive as he was, Tokimasa was no fool. In order to gain new followers, he needed to give his cult historical legitimacy. He collected obscure objects and gave them new meaning that he could control in order to manipulate his followers. The mask was one that he had chose, along with the name of the group that created it. Interesting, isn't it? Actually, yeah, kind of. Only, I guess I was hoping you could tell me more other stuff, maybe? Kind of. Oh, look, for instance. Like, okay, how do I say this? Okay. Now, what I'm about to say out loud is kind of silly, but just bear with me for like 5 seconds. Oh, don't be silly. No, you wonder, for example, why holding the mask seems to take you to another place? Or perhaps why you can see visions that don't seem real? Why you feel a strong will exerting itself upon you? Oh yes, I know all of those things too. How could you know that? When Takimasa was in possession of it, he believed it showed him a path to the realm of the gods. He wrote extensively on the subject. Though unlike most, I don't discount such phenomena as the ravings of a madman when the phenomenon repeats itself. Do you too look into the inky blackness and see familiar shapes in the shadows? Not shadows. I see and hear people who are supposed to be dead. I find things I couldn't possibly have found otherwise. Most interesting. Tell me, Detective... Oh, apologies. Do you mind if I call you that? I don't remember telling you I was a detective. Shadowy man who has static. Oh, my mistake. You must forgive me, a slip of the tongue. I believe it was the way you carried yourself. Determined investigators such as yourself have a sense of purpose in their mannerisms, you see. And you do seem rather determined to get to the bottom of whatever it is you're chasing. Tell me, does
me telling you that your experience are not an illusion provide you any level of comfort? I'm not sure, but I do feel something. Maybe hope? It's like I finally got a foothold on solid ground. Ah, yes. Knowledge is a light in dark places, is it not? To think a relic of such of import would end up with a detective. Do you mind if I ask you something? Which do you believe? Are our lives controlled by fate? Pre-measured threads that determine our deeds, our wishes, and our ends the minute we come into existence? Or conversely, is our thread subject to the chaos inherent in a universe instead? Does it change according to our deeds and that which happens to us seemingly by accident? You're the collector, aren't you? You are you not? The more I look at him, well, the more I see him, he knows much too much. Do you believe it is fate or chance that decides which threads of life are cut short and which are followed? Now, it's a very highly philosophical debate that is always around in some form or another. Is life a set of predetermined set of instances, a set of predetermined events that no matter what we do, our lives are set to always repeat in ad nauseum as they were deemed fit? Or is life itself not structured in such a way, and our actions, that which we choose of our own belief, create a ripple effect that affects all the other ripples that everybody else chooses, thus creating the chaos of, well, life? Now, there's always this weird philosophical debate that has appeared time and time again. If everything is truly chaos and random, do things matter? And if everything is predetermined, how do we know? And if they are already predetermined, does what we do matter? Ultimately, it goes back and forth. Personally, since I am being asked of myself, I live by the roll of the dice. My choices, my actions will create ripples. Now, whether these ripples are fate, it doesn't really matter, because I choose it to be chance. Luck is but a lady tonight. Ah, yes, of course. Maybe you feel your life has been somewhat out of your control as of late. Control. You know, to be honest, I don't feel like I've had much of that since the mask came to me. You said that the mask was made by the old Common Kai. But why? Confusing me can't be the purpose of what it was made for, though it would be hilarious if it was. Ah, yes, a more complicated answer than you might have wished for. Indeed, it should come as no surprise that the creation of such mysterious object is equally enigmatic. Perhaps you could do me a favor. Oh, don't worry, it is in relation to this very topic. An important book has gone missing from my shop. If you could retrieve it for me, I feel it could shine a great deal of light on the subject. What kind of book? What kind of book are we talking about, man? A book of the missing variety. Oh, sorry, I jest. It concerns the mask bearer. The mask. Wait. No. I have a name? Okay. Although you carry it, that does not make you its bearer. All will become clear when the book is returned to me. Sure, sounds easy. Where can I go ahead and start looking? Oh, you needn't go far. The man who has it is right outside this building. In fact, as I said, it's not much of an errand, but I, of course, cannot leave my shop. He's right outside. The dude with the octopus balls.
Okay. Hey, maybe I can get some more octopus balls.